If you're newly divorced, you're going through the divorce process. One of the things you'll have to plan for is not just a divorce, but how you're going to live going forward. You may have been in a two-income household and now you're going down to just your income. Or you may have relied on your spouse to handle certain financial responsibilities for you, like paying the bills or managing the bank accounts. It's important that you're aware of what you'll need to do that you're not doing, and make sure that you get ahead of that so you know what to do going forward. It's also very important that you know what your expenses are going to be a month. How much money are you going to need to live? You may have new expenses because you may now have to be paying child support or sometimes, unfortunately, spousal support. So these are things that you'll need to factor into as you set your budget going forward. Another thing you need to be mindful of is your estate plan. If you were married for a long time, your spouse is most likely listed as your beneficiary on various documents. Some of those will automatically change with a divorce, but not all of them. So you're going to want to make sure you go in and update that to name whoever you want your new beneficiary to be. And you also should be mindful of the fact that while you were married, your spouse was your next of kin to make important decisions for you if, God forbid, you were ever unconscious and not able to make decisions for yourself. So it's very important to update a power of attorney and a living will to make sure that you're protected in a situation like that, which is absolutely something we can help you with at the Bayley Law Firm. If you're going for a divorce or you've just finalized a divorce, you're likely in a transition period of your life. You've lost most likely the person that was at one time your best friend, and you're trying to transition to what your new life is going to be like. It's important to lean on friends and family in this time. It's important to focus on your mental health, to take stock of where you're at, to not just rush into a new relationship. I strongly encourage everybody to take time and to work with a therapist to process what they've been through. The most important advice I could give any parent that is going through a divorce or is now divorced is love your children more than you hate your spouse. You need to appreciate the fact that your children are both you and your spouse. And no matter how much you dislike that person, there's a child out there who loves that person, and you love that child. You don't want to have a relationship with your ex-spouse that's filled with animosity. They're going to move on. They're going to find a new partner. You're going to move on. You're going to find a new partner. The best thing you can do is try to find a way to work with this person. Try to keep your communications minimal. Focus just on the child, and preferably try to keep them in writing. If there are problems in the future that requires further court intervention, that you're able to then have the documents you need to show the court that you were the one trying to be the responsible co-parent and the other party was the one acting inappropriately. Most of the time, the party who shows that they're more willing to co-parent and more willing to put the children ahead of their dislike of the other spouse is the party that's going to do better in court. A lot of people ask me, should I consider a modification to reopen my case? Well, there's a variety of reasons why you may need to consider that. One would be to change child support. Did your income change? Did your spouse's income change? If you're the one receiving child support and your spouse's income has gone up, that may be grounds to modify your child support. Likewise, if you're the one paying child support and your income has gone down, that may be a reason you want to file a modification to change child support. Another reason that people would file a modification is if they're trying to change custody. You could have a situation where a child has now reached the age of 12 and wants to come live with you. That's normally a very good reason that people file a modification. Or unfortunately, sometimes you're going to have a parent who did seem like they used to be okay, but maybe they got involved in drugs and alcohol, or maybe they have a new significant other who has a problematic criminal history, and you need to make sure that your children are protected. Those would be reasons that would be very legitimate to go back and ask the court to change your court order. If you're going through a divorce and you're wondering what life will be like after your divorce, don't hesitate to give us a call at the Bayley Law Firm for a consultation today.